Begits, yo, what's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back. Hope you all doing well. I thought they were robbed. Roma were robbed, and only because of the penalty, only the handball. That's it. I'm not gonna go with the other plays because I thought the ref was pretty fair. I think he did a pretty good job when it came to the rest of the plays. That Mourinho supposedly was waiting for him outside. That's the first thing I saw before even watching the game, because obviously I couldn't watch the game as always. I don't know what else he was complaining about, but the handball, and I think that's enough. That's enough. I don't know. That's enough to go and wait for the ref after the game, but that's enough to be upset. That's enough to be upset because had that been a penalty, I think they would have scored and they would have won the game, because that was the 81st minute. And you're telling me that Roma wouldn't have been able to defend for 10, 15 minutes plus the stoppage time? Of course. They defended for 45 minutes. 45 minutes, a whole half, right? Up until the goal that was, what, the 60-something minute? Yeah, they would have defended. They would have won this game. Now, the problem lies where Sevilla was mostly in charge of the game. They held a lot more possession than Roma did. They were attacking. They were attacking. I can't really say Roma were attacking. Roma had very few chances. I remember the Ibrahim, I think it was the corner kick, and it was just a scramble of a bunch of chances, a bunch of legs just being thrown left and right. And Ibrahim, in an unorthodox position, was just trying to flick it over, so he wasn't really like able to position himself to be able to, to really have a good clean strike at it. But besides that, the goal, the turnaround that they were not expecting, that's why they scored. And thankfully, who was at the end of that ball, the pass from Mancini, if I'm not mistaken? Dybala. Dybala of all people, right? A really nice cross shot from Dybala. So Roma did what they had to do. You can argue that, look, Roma didn't deserve to win had they won this game, because all they did was defending. But up until the first goal from Sevilla, or the only goal that Sevilla scored, Roma were playing good defense, and Sevilla had nothing. They weren't showing nothing. All they did was control the midfield and just whip it in, just throw in random balls to see what would happen. And Roma did a really good job at just blocking that middle half and not allowing Sevilla from getting any chance to create anything inside the box. That was the first half. The second half, you saw a little bit more when they made the changes with Lamela and Suso coming in. They did add a different dynamic to the game, and they did create a little bit more opportunities, but they were still struggling. They were still struggling to create like clear chances for them to score. And Nesri had the header in the second half that went over the crossbar. Rakitic had that one chance that I forgot in the first half, and that was like in stoppage time. The cross shot that ended up hitting the second post. Aside from that, it was hard. It was a hard going for Sevilla. Let's just put it that way. So this game didn't need to go all the way. It did. It eventually did, but it didn't need to go to penalties. I'm not one to think that, penalties are luck, but it is partially luck. I think it's also temperament, it's character, because you could have a Neymar, you could have a Messi that have really good records when it comes to scoring penalties, and they could end up missing a really important penalty that could end up being the winner for the match. So it's a mix of a lot of things, right? It's a mix of a lot of things, and you have to have also, I agree, the right people to kick penalties. I think it was the center backs that were kicking the penalty for Roma, and that was odd. That was kind of weird. And you have someone like Cristante that's kicking the ball, which I thought he did really well kicking it in the center. But I think if you're going to kick the ball in the center, it's got to be a little bit high up, because the goalie has to first leave his place and his feet have to be away for you to kick it that low, because at the speed that the ball is going, it's going to eventually catch up and hit him in the legs, right? Or the feet, which eventually did happen. So I do think that the ref did a pretty decent job. The only thing was that handball. That was a clear handball. That was a clear handball. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a handball. I'm sorry, that was a handball. After seeing so many penalties from different leagues, that was a clear handball. Come on, stop. They would have given that away in so many Premier League games. Stop. Just stop. Well deserved at the same time, because everyone there's nobody that you can say. There's some games that I just couldn't stand that I'm watching. Like, I'm thinking back of the Madrid game. Like, what was the point of showing up in that game against City? There was nothing, absolutely nothing from Madrid. It's Madrid. You know they could do a lot more than that. I don't even know what to call that. Performance, I don't know what you would call that. But these two teams gave everything. Drive, hustle, everybody was hustling. They wanted it, towards the end. They did everything, right? So it was a fun match. It was a fun match that just back and forth, constant tension. It was just high octane throughout the whole game. But it didn't need to go all the way to the end. I think this could have been decided in 90 minutes. There you have it, guys. That was the final. Wow. I think this was my first Europa League final that I've watched. I'm pretty sure. I probably don't remember. It's such a long time ago, 2000s, that I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching as always. Stay tuned for future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next match, of course. Peace.